Welcome everyone, old and new. Let's make some angel food cake. And some whipped topping because everyone likes a little extra. Here we go. First, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Then sift together 1 cup or 4 ounces of cake flour, or all-purpose if you're normal and don't have cake flour, 3/4 cup or 6 ounces of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons or 1 ounce of cornstarch, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I know, I hate sifting too, but nobody likes lumpy angel food cake. So just do it, okay? You will thank me later. I use my hands to break up lumps of flour and sugar. Set that aside. Now, let me explain these 3 bowls. We've got to separate 12 eggs, and we don't want broken yolks mixed in with the egg whites because it will prevent the whites from whipping up properly. So crack your eggs over 1 bowl, then separate them into their respective dishes. Trust me, you don't want to have to start over after getting 11 eggs done. I may or may not know from experience, doing 1 extra dish is way better. Here are a couple of ways to separate eggs. You can go back and forth between the eggshell halves or just use your hands, whichever you like better. This is a mess. I'm going to get these done and I'll be right back. There we go. Now, don't go throwing your egg yolks away. Put them in a dish in the fridge and save them for the next time you want to make pie crust, custard, pound cake, pastry cream, lemon curd, or any other number of things. Don't be wasteful. Now we're just going to whip the egg whites up. I like to start on a low speed and then increase it slowly as the egg whites start to froth. Once they get a little bit foamy, add 1 teaspoon cream of tartar. This just helps your meringue hold up under all the stress you're about to put it through. Then grab another 3/4 cup or 6 ounces of sugar and start adding that about a tablespoon at a time. Adding it gradually just makes sure the sugar will fully dissolve. Keep whipping until you're getting really foamy on top. Then add 1 teaspoon vanilla and whip some more until you get soft, firm peaks. We're getting close here, but not quite there yet. Keep going if it looks like this. Have patience, it will get there. Okay, see how it's making tracks and starting to bunch up just a little bit around the whisk? That's a good time to check again. There we go. It's standing up and the tip gently flops over. That's exactly what we're looking for. Stop whisking at this point. Now we can add the flour we sifted earlier. If you want to be super fancy, you can sift it a second time here, but it's not strictly necessary. What is strictly necessary is that you are very gentle with your meringue. Because if you deflate it, you're going to have to start all over. Gently fold the flour into the meringue by scraping around the sides of the bowl and down through the center. Whatever you do, don't stir vigorously. You will cry. When you don't see any more floury spots and your batter is smooth, stop folding. You don't want to overmix this. Ain't nobody got time for a dish rag. #real life. Okay, grab your tube pan, also known as an angel food cake pan. This is what it looks like. The tube going up the center allows heat to get to the interior of the cake, so it doesn't take 6 hours to bake. I will explain the feet later. Go ahead and start scooping the batter into the pan. Once you have a nice layer, smooth it out a little to prevent air pockets. Then scoop the rest in and smooth the top. Oh, super important tip. If you want your angel food cake to be successful, do not oil, spray, butter, flour, or anything the pan. The cake needs to be able to grab the sides of the pan and climb up. If the surface is slippery, your cake will not be able to rise and you will cry when you pull it out of the oven. I don't want that for you guys. See these messy spots? Don't worry about those. They just mean you're normal. They are your badges of normalcy. Display them proudly. Bake 40 to 45 minutes. Next tip for success. Listen up. You must cool your angel food cake upside down and keep it that way until it's completely cool. That's what the feet on the pan are for. If you cool it right side up, your cake will fall flat and you will cry. We talked about this. I don't want that for you guys, alright? Turn it face down. Okay, once it's cool, you could just grab a fork and start digging in. But I'm going to assume that you would like to take it out of the pan and make it look pretty. So to do that, just grab a knife and gently run it around the outer edge to loosen it, and also around the edge of the tube too, on the inside. You might need to do it a couple of times. Then it should just lift right out. Use the same method to loosen the bottom of the cake. There we go. Grab a plate, and there are exactly 2 good ways to get this cake off of the pan and onto the plate. One is to gently flip it over. By the way, someone count how many times I say gently in this video and let me know in the comments. Option 2 is to put the plate on top and then quickly flip it over. It should just slide right off the pan. I had to slide a knife under to help me get it up off the counter. Here's something optional. You can take a knife and very gently scrape the brown crumbs off if you're not planning to frost the sides. It might make it look a little more angelic and less crusty. It's up to you. Now, how about we make some stabilized whipped cream to frost that cake with? Yes, please. Start by grabbing about 2 teaspoons of gelatin. Add 2 tablespoons of cold water to that. Let it sit about 5 minutes while you whip some heavy cream into shape. That's called blooming, by the way. Then grab 2 cups or 16 ounces of heavy whipping cream and start whipping on low, gradually speeding up as you get more bubbles. When it gets a little frothy, add in 1 teaspoon vanilla and sift in half a cup of powdered sugar. For some reason, my powdered sugar did not want to cooperate today, so I just forced it through. The only reason we're sifting is to break up lumps, so however you want to do that, without crying, do it. I mean, unless you're super unique and like lumpy whipped topping, I guess. Okay, see how it's starting to jiggle a little bit? That means it's getting close, so don't space out or you'll end up with butter. Now we're getting tracks. It's really close. Stay focused. At this point, pop your gelatin in the microwave for 10 seconds only. It should be melted and watery, but not hot. Before you put that into the cream, we need to temper it. That's a fancy way to say we need to bring these two things to a more similar temperature. Take a small spoonful of your cream and stir it into the gelatin. Then very slowly pour that mixture into the cream while you mix on low. Once you get all of that in, you can turn your mixer up to medium high. But keep a really close eye on it at this point because it's going to start going really fast. As soon as you have peaks that stand up, you can stop mixing. They should not flop over at all. Creamy and smooth. Now we get to decorate. Woohoo! I just have a big round piping tip here. If you don't have anything like this, you can cut the corner off a Ziploc bag and it will do the exact same thing. I twist to the end just to help hold everything in until I'm ready to pipe. Then I put it in a cup to hold the bag up until I fill it. I used about half of the whipped topping in the piping bag. The rest we're going to use to cover the outside of the cake. Don't forget the middle. Now I'm just doing some big swirly blobs by pressing my tip down, squeezing until it starts coming out, and then pulling up as I'm turning around in a circle. No idea if that makes sense, but that's what I did. If you have a big air bubble in your bag, just stick your tip back down and start squeezing again. Everything will be fine. Do these look like snow-covered Christmas trees to anybody else? I just think they're so cute. When you get done with those, if you still have tons of whipped topping left over like I did, just start putting some blobs around the base. Still have some left over? Fill in between those blobs on the top. And I'm probably just going to eat the last little bit in there. Did I say that out loud? And if that's not a fancy enough cake, let's make a ganache strip. Melt 1 ounce semi-sweet chocolate chips and 1 ounce heavy cream in the microwave. Be careful not to burn it. I'd start with 20 seconds. Let it cool slightly so it's not too soupy. Then grab a sandwich bag, plop that in a cup, making sure one corner is inside the cup and the other is outside. Pour the ganache in and snip off a teeny little bit of the corner and you're ready to put it on the cake. Dribble that all the way around. Not forgetting the middle. Oh, and the extra, sprinkle some powdered sugar on top. Oh yeah. Then guess what? You're done! Now you get to eat it. Unless you dug in with the fork earlier. Oh, look at that cake. It's so fluffy. Don't you just want to eat that? Hey, if you watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. You are a special kind of person. If you enjoyed any small part of this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos every week. And maybe you don't bake, but you know somebody who does. Share this video and tell them to make this cake for you. See you all in my next video.